How good was that round of footy? Fuck, I love Magic Round. Tons everywhere, so many points, lots of tight contests. The reffing was amazing. They've decided, hey, we don't need a sin bin every tap on the chin because our players aren't pussies until Sutton got his greasy hands on the whistle, but nothing unusual there. Had another really good week in the prize pool. We've got SLM and James Hornby coming in. SLM with a sharp anytime try scorer. These were the only two people to comment, so they got $10 each. So some nice high odds there. 33-35 for SLM sees him move up to second place in the whole thing. And Hornby got 4 out of his 6 legs. 1180 there. Nicely done. 285.99. We're getting towards 300. At this rate, we might get to $1,000 in the prize pool. I thought it was slowing down, but apparently you guys know how to punt. So as far as my deal with Metamorphosis goes, bro, I'm just going to let you decide how much you want to take. Let's just round you up to $100. And you can leave a comment with exactly how much of that $100 you want to get paid out, if you want to get paid out, because people are starting to figure out how to catch you. But so if you want $50 and you want to go down to $50 and still be winning, if you want to go to 0 and just cash in on the $100 and start again, completely up to you, bro. Leave a comment and let me know. Moving over to Supercoach. Scored myself a 1525. Very, very happy. Of course, it happens on a week where there's 1500s everywhere, but, at least I'm keeping up. And I have no idea whether a 1500 is going to be enough for me to get green arrows. Hopefully, my live rank earlier in the week was in the top 100. I doubt it stayed there because I am at about 1500 at the start of the round, but we'll see how that goes in a couple hours when it all comes out. I did go over the first 2 games in my last video, so I'll just quickly go over these. Obviously, Hines with 117, he's great. McInnes, he was great. Nickera, he was doing well. Adam Fanua-Blake going low, which is a shame. I nearly traded him in this week, but didn't. Trindle going low as well. And over at the Eels, not too much to comment on other than Moses doing okay and Adokar having a good game. Dylan Brown doing good as well, but with Moses potentially playing 6 for Origin, I wouldn't go anywhere near there because as soon as Moses leaves the team, Dylan Brown will be back to being a fucking shit player. Second game, obviously, Toya and Tedesco had massive scores. I pulled the loop on Teddy. Very happy with that. Noakanitawasi is quickly becoming a Dom Young of last year at 575k with the amazing Origin cover they have. I don't hate that trade in at all. There is a Roosters buy coming up though, so just make sure you don't have too many and you don't fuck yourself over for that. Billy Smith didn't do great, but whatever. He's just there to make us money. Savala doing really well. I like him as an Origin cover pick as well. I think he'll be one of the most traded in players this week. For the Dolphins, Farmworth got a nice little update there, like 8 points or something. Happy with that. Tabuai Fido, just doing what he does. He's a fucking gun player. Isaiah Katoa, I'm hoping he doesn't get too far out of reach because I'd like to downgrade Cleary to him when Penrith have their bye, I want to say round 11 or 12? No, 11. Maybe even 10. There is one coming. There's a world where Cleary to Katoa is actually an upgrade. I'm not sure. I mean, Cleary did just go big, so his price will go up as well. But I'm pretty locked in to getting Isaiah Katoa in. But Savala is also a good option to free up a bunch of cash. But I just really like what Isaiah Katoa is doing. He's very exciting to watch. And we'll move on to the games I haven't gone over now. Fletcher Sharp with his hat trick. Matty Johns actually had a punt on that a bunch of the Matty Johns show crew got on. It was paying 250 to 1. So fucking huge from him. He's a genius. Bradman Best. He's rocks or diamonds. He was diamonds this time around. Maybe towards the end of the year, if the Knights do kind of continue this type of form, he could be a decent pod for playing on matchups and probably only on matchups unless we see the Knights really kick into gear. Ponga, a couple of points off a ton there. Much better from him. So what do we got? 2 try assists, 20 points in goals, 24 points in line break assists, and just some general stats there. So a nice even spread of stats there for Ponga. Marzu, I'm really disappointed that I missed but he has also been part of this shitty Knights team for the past month. So I'm only jealous that I don't have him now. If I had him for the past month, I'd probably be like, fuck, I want to get rid of him. But similar with Best, if we see the Knights starting to do better, he is definitely an option to bring in. For the Rabbitohs, Hubner doing kind of what he does. He's not going to be hemorrhaging cash. He will lose a little bit of money, but that's fine, honestly. If 10k is going to fuck up your trade plans, then your trade plans weren't very good. It does happen. It's happened to me a couple of times this year, but you just need to be a little bit more prepared. Yeah, he will probably be finding his way out of my team this week for Savala. It's a nice, easy trade. Ewan Aitken is still bottoming out. I think we might be able to pick him up for about 450k. I don't think the Rabbitohs have very good origin cover, so maybe he could be a run-home pod if the Rabbitohs click into gear. That's a bit of a weird one, though. Wouldn't go there yet. And realistically, not much to touch on with the Rabbitohs. Warriors-Cowboys. The two highly owned cheapies, Derby and Purdue, doing just fine. Purdue's going to make about 40k. Derby's going to make about 80k. He scored just about his projected there, so that should be pretty accurate. Metcalf went and got a big ton. He was fucking electric this game. It's very... He's always had this potential. I loved him when he was at Manly playing in the lower grades. I wish we still had him, but, you know, can't keep them all. Especially if you're Manly, then you can't keep any of them. But yeah, he's doing well. He's 500k, so you're not wanting to pay that for him. But if you've still got him, it's tough, isn't it? Because he's had a couple of really good scores, and he's had a few really shit scores. And even playing him on matchup is tough because I feel like any team can beat any team this year. The competition is so open. I fucking love it. So I'm not even going to give any advice on Metcalf because I feel like whatever I say could backfire very easily. So you're just going to have to decide that one by yourself if you've still got him. If you've still got Aaron Clark, that was a great trade in. He'll have made 200k by the time his price changes this week. Harris to Vita would have been awesome as well. I was considering a straight swap from Metcalf to him back in the day. Didn't do it, unfortunately. Drinkwater, I really want, because the Cowboys have good origin cover, but I don't know who I'd have to get rid of. I've got Tedesco, Ponga, and Pappenhausen. I don't want to sell any of them. If I was going to sell one, it would be Ponga, but then I lose the money that I've lost on him. You only lose money that players lose when you trade them out. And I think Ponga can score just as well as Drinkwater will, and the Knights and Cowboys are both teams that play 7 games during the Origin period, while all the rest play 6. So maybe Ponga will get picked for Origin, and then that'll be a very easy trade for me. As far as other options in the Cowboys, I'm not really seeing any, to be honest, other than these cheap guys, but nothing really appeals to me there. Tigers-Dragons, what a game this was. Hamish Stewart was going toe-for-toe with Terrell May in terms of base stats. Then he had a stint on the sidelines, came back, scored a try, and ended up scoring the same as Terrell May, which is fucking huge. Obviously, I didn't play him. I played Toya instead, so that worked out very nicely. But yeah, Terrell May, standard stuff from him. Jacob Little, I have just traded JMK in, so I'm not going to make another hooker trade, but let's have a look at his season stats. 70, 20, 54, 40, 20, 60, 20. Okay. Rocks or diamonds. That's not what I want from a hooker. Gutherson with a lackluster score again. I copped so much shit for saying that Gutherson wasn't a buy and that Pappenhausen was better. So, sucked in. I'm right. Suck a dick. Although in saying that, he's still, if you got him in at the right time and then out at the right time, then well done to you. But if you were sticking him down there as a long-term option and not just playing fullback roulette, Pappenhausen was the way to go. Val Holmes had a good game here, as well as Dylan Egan, obviously. This guy might be the cheapie I am saddest that I missed out on. He's already made 250k. He's going to go up again with that score. And he's just a fucking good player. Really good player. If you have him, like, he is kind of peaking. He's break even will get knocked down a bit, but I don't think he's going to make too much more money. But honestly, he's not a bad playing option with the buys coming up and everything, so I like it. Val Holmes, he'll probably go off to Origin, but I think a lot of people are going to be flocking to him for the run home, along with Lomax. I'm not sure when he's back, but people are definitely going to be looking at him. And I think that covers it for that game. Titans Bulldogs. Tino with a ton. Tano for Sumalawi. That's fucking terrible. Shut up. Tino and Fermor killing it. I wanted to bring Fermor in, and I might have to with that break even, because I need to make money down in my centre wing. I've been focusing on stacking the pack. I did bring in Farnworth, and I do have a good bit of money down there. Like, I've played my cheapies well, but I don't have any of these like mid-range guys who are going to make money. And he's got a negative break even. He's just fucking gotten a ton, so he's going to probably be like a negative 35 break even next week and be 600k. So we could see Fermor go from 600k to 650 next week. And that is something I don't want to miss out on. So when teams lists come out, we'll go over that again. Other mentions from the Titans, none really. Bulldogs, Karaz. I said I wasn't liking what I was seeing from him recently. That's changed now. That score is going to knock down his break even. And I think he will hover around this price. I reckon 750-ish is about right for Kiraz. I'm just a bit worried he might get picked for Origin, because you just never know. So I'm going to have to death ride Kiraz until the Origin teams lists come out. And that's going to be scary, because the Bulldogs can do this without a few of their players. It's very impressive. Connor Tracy, just not that Supercoach relevant. Few people might have him, but not for me. He is a good option. Let's actually have a look at his season stats, because you could get him in at centre wing. 90, 60, 50, 60, 30, 80, 30. It's not bad. It's really not bad. He does miss 13 and 16 in the Origin period. So, look, if you're stacked for round 13 and 16, then maybe you could bring him in as a pod. I don't mind it. But I don't know how many high ceiling games he's got. Same goes with Crichton, just not that Supercoach relevant. Jacob Preston, on the other hand, he is a gun. Also a smoky for Origin. He's also very expensive, but I do believe he's worth the money if you can get him in. And realistically, that's all the relevant players for the Bulldogs too. Panthers Broncos. Nathan Cleary just doing what he does. Of course I sell Jenkins and he goes and gets a double now that Casey McLean's out of the team. But what can you do? We were going to sell him anyway. Break even at 63. So like he's not even going to get that crazy of a break even. Maybe like a 20 or a 30. But he's just two rocks or diamonds. Maybe Casey McLean leaving or getting dropped was the only thing he needed to actually get some attacking stats and actually be a really good option. So maybe we'll have to put our tail between our legs and trade him back in, but I'm not doing it yet. Isaiah Yeo is killing me, man. I think we saw Penrith get more Penrith-like this game, which makes me think that Isaiah will be a good option for the run home, but he's just not doing it for me. He's done enough to not get traded out, but there's been a few lackluster scores in there. So he's definitely one of my Origin guys that I will be trading out. Whether I get him back, I don't know. Payne Haas, standard score for him there, even with a stint on the bench. He's just a fucking freak. I will be holding Haas over Origin. I don't want any chance of selling him and then shit happening and not letting me get him back in. You need him for the run home. You need him. Do not sell him. Find a way around it. Cobbo is doing nicely at fullback. I'm not sure when Reece Walsh comes back. He's very cheap. So depending on when Walsh comes back, maybe Cobbo could be a decent little option in the wings. Shibasaki chugging along nicely. Not sure how owned he'll still be. Still in 27% of teams, but realistically, he's just hovering around that price that a lot of people sold him at. And I think there's just better options for consistent scoring if you pay up a little bit, which I think is worth doing. Same goes with Jesse Arthurs. They're, in a Supercoach sense, they're almost the same player. Adam Reynolds had a shocker this game. 2 balls out on the full. You don't see that very often from him. And Ben Hunt at 383k is very interesting. He's probably going to play Origin, which sucks. But if for whatever reason he doesn't, I will be trading him in. 383 for Ben Hunt in a Broncos side. Why is he so cheap? He must have had some serious low scores. 80, 50, 30, 30, 50, 20, 20, 40. So the floor isn't bad for a under 400k player. And there's a little bit of ceiling there. It's not quite the scores I would have liked to have seen, but he could pick it up, especially if he moves to 9. I think it was Savs talking about that. When Mam comes back, he'll probably get pushed to 9. In that case, he's a definite trade-in. And I'd love for him to get the hooker jewel, get him up there. And that's all for this game. Final game, the Sutton Special. Did he not watch any of the games over the weekend where the refs put their whistle away? He's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to send 2 players for the bin because I warned them in the first half, even though we're in the first half of fucking extra time, and it's been like an hour since that happened. Yes, there's part of me that's like, yeah, he's just doing his best, but it is really consistently like he's making it about himself. I know that's not the case, but I can understand why people think that. He does my fucking head in. Falongo had the best game I've seen him have. That try assist where he had the line break down the right side and then dinked it over to Pappenhausen was beautiful. I love him. I love getting him in whenever I can. I'm going to have to do my research to see what his job security's like. I can't remember the Storm injuries. And you'd think he'd find his way into the team with a lot of Melbourne players going to Origin. I just love watching him. He's such a points generator. He doesn't have to do much to get him. And he's just so much fun to watch. So, big eye on Falongo. He is a freak. And his price will change nicely coming into the Origin period. So, that could be a move. Pappenhausen with an 80. Love to see it. Katoa with a 77. Love to see it. Trent Liero somehow got a 60, even though he was the best player on the field for the Raiders. Meaney doing alright. Hughes doing alright. Munster doing... He actually updated a fair bit there. I'm pretty sure he was on low 40s. So we'll take a 50 from him. Wishart and Paddy, just not even a mention. They are not in my team to score points or to make money. They will come in the Origin period. Hopefully Paddy starts getting some more minutes. Otherwise I'm going to potentially have to nuff him out. Which, realistically, when it comes to the run home, if I can find a hooker that's had all their buys, then I can nuff Paddy out. It's not that bad. And AE Nightmare just isn't a thing this year. I pulled the loop, and neither of these guys went into my scoring team. So don't have to worry about that. Horsburgh, I think he's going to leave my side this week. His break-even's going to get a little high. He's going to start losing money. You can keep him because he is good Origin cover, but I think I'm going to try and flip him to an Adam Fanua-Blake, who should lose a bit of money this week, or something along those lines. Nicholson just keeps chugging along. I think he's the keep out of the 2 here, just because he plays 80 minutes. He's a try scorer. He's more likely. He's got a bit more of a ceiling, and he does have a decent floor. Horsburgh's still a gun player, and I love the guy, but I think his time's up in my team. KO Weeks had a great game, but he's just way too rocks or diamonds to be Supercoach relevant. Tamale keeps chugging along. He's probably the highest owned player that I don't have. And honestly, I'm okay with it. Like, if I need to bring a Raider in specifically for Origin cover at any point, then maybe I'll bring him in, but I'm not desperate to get him in. He still is only 500k. Like, he's been very, very good. But I'd say he's been about as good as most of the other cheapies that I had, so that is fine. Tarpany with a better score. Still going to lose a bit of money. Maybe I could look at a horse to a Tarpany. That's a trade I mentioned last week. And that just bolsters up that front row nicely. Tom Starling got put on the bitch so many times this game. I fucking love it when some little yappy cunt just gets fucking thrown around. Like, when Munster just deadlifted him and threw him off his back, I was like, yes, Munster. And I fucking hate Munster. And it made me like him in that moment. But yeah, Tom Starling was channeling his inner Reid Marnie that game. He was being a fucking pest. And I think that covers it. So we'll go over to the league. Can't do the league yet because the scores haven't actually dropped just yet, so we'll save that for the TLT video. But immediately, I'm seeing a 1684 just there. That's crazy. 1728? Excuse me? 16, 15. Fucking hell, I think par could be 1500 this week. I've gotten a 1525 and I've hit par. That's fucking bullshit. Oh well. At least, I wonder what team of the week's going to be this week. Jesus Christ. Righto guys, I'm going to wrap this up and get stuck into the origin planning video. And I'll have that out maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe never. Who the fuck knows. Anyway, hope you enjoyed Magic Round. It was a great fucking week of footy. And I'm keen to see what the team of the week is. It could be like 1900. Anyway, see you in the next video. Later.